Hey friends, this is Rodney.
What's up, fam? This is Lasiba.
Hey guys, this is Ernest.
Hey to the now, it's Nasha.
And welcome to conVo with Friendz. What's up, guys? This is your first time friends tuning in. We are a podcast that have Christian Lakiba,
Woo woo.
Messy Ernest, aka Messy Wendy.
What's up?
We have conservative Republican Nasha. And you have Rodney with Keep It Up with Google News. We are a podcast talking about everything under the sun. So, friends, thank you for tuning in. This is your first time tuning in, friends. Whatever podcast platform listeners on, make sure you subscribe, like, and share.
Please.
And you can also donate to our podcast, you guys. And we have merch as well. So $5 or more is what we saying. If you $1, we don't want you. So $5 or more, thank you. And you can also donate and buy the merch at www.convowithfriends.com. So let's get this show started. Ernest, what you got going on with the sick and shut in, or what are the announcements, church?
Well, no sick and shedding this week, but happy Mental Health Awareness Month. And also make sure we appreciate our teachers. So it's Teacher Appreciation Week as well. So that's all I got going on. No sick and shedding this week.
Well, Lakiba, how was your week, sis? How's it going?
I first want to say that mental health is real. You know, and definitely, if you know somebody who's going through that, hold them near and dear, because it's definitely real.
I agree.
Yes, amen.
Y'all know I be bossing it up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Bossy.
Another day, another dollar. You know, I'm always bossing it up. Had an amazing call with a film producer, and I'm looking forward to some great things to come from that conversation.
I love that.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Go, girl.
Always working, always bossing.
What about you, Ernest?
This week I've been preparing because it's Mother's Day weekend. So make sure you guys go to honestluck.myshopify.com. You can currently get 10% off your total purchase as well. So that's all I have going on. Oh, and outside of being 10K for TikTok. And we're about to have we're gonna have 10K for conVo with Friendz soon as well. So so that's all I got going on.
Yes. What about you, Nasha?
It's been a very blessed, interesting weekend.
Yes, for the blessings.
Yes, definitely. We was invited. Pernille was invited to the farmers market, starting in June, every weekend up until October.
Nice.
Really awesome for Pernille. I can get around people that actually like natural products and don't have to, and they already know about the ingredients.
Oh,
so it's like, and then also we're making preparation for the toddlers to be gone. You know, we're doing this co-parenting. You know, we have to, okay, you don't pay child support, so we're going to share this child. So yeah, and I hate to see my baby go, even though, having a toddler is not easy. But, her other side of the family needs to spend some time with her as well.
I agree with that.
And
girl.
I need the break, the mental break.
I know that, girl.
She is very needy. She needs me every moment of the second. And I just sometimes don't even have a time to think.
I understand.
Mental health.
Mental health awareness is real, sis.
Aromatherapy.
Yes.
Candles. Meditation.
That's so silly. Well, my week was actually good. I talked to the producer for the show that I'm going to be on.
Nice.
Really excited about that. The book signing with Nico Too Good for the Black Authors Matter Tour was phenomenal. Oh my God. I just want to say shout out to the Black Authors Matters Tour. I will be traveling all around the U.S. I won't be going to Nigeria. But the show in Atlanta the tour in Atlanta was really, really good. Shout out to all the amazing authors I met and a wonderful connection I have made. But now let's start off with this segment called Business of the Week. And the business of the week goes to Kreations by Kimiko. All right. She has been a crafter for over 30 years. It's her passion to create handmade custom door wreath and event decor. My Mardi Gras door wreaths, second line umbrellas, and feather headbands were inspired by my New Orleans culture. Okay, you'll get into those wreaths and that event planning with my good girl Kreations by Kimiko. And that's who made our merch, you guys.
Nice.
And the website to buy and the wreaths and book her for events is www.kreations with a K by Kimiko.com. And her Instagram is Kreations with a K by Kimiko. And that is this business of the week.
Very festive.
Nice.
I always wanted to get one of those carnival outfits.
Oh yeah, she got some nice stories, like for real. Yes, it's beautiful.
Gosh.
Very, very beautiful. And we get
look that up.
We get a good percentage off because we're doing some things. So. Not for y'all, but for us.
I can't wait.
Well, let's start with the segment I found. This segment is called Let's Chat. What I found on good old Google News. Okay, you guys, this is kind of sad, but it needs to be said. Police search for missing Buffalo State College student. Authorities are continuing their search for a missing New York college student who disappeared more than a week ago. Sanaya Dennis, 19, was last seen leaving her dorm room at the sunny Buffalo State College on April 21st. The university police department said in news release, Dennis of Bronx, New York, is a college sophomore, you guys. And the chief of the police said, our one and only goal in this investigation is to locate Sanaya and reconnect her with her family. UPD Chief Peter Carey said in a statement on Saturday, understandably, emotions are high right now, but I want to be very clear that our department will not rest until Sanaya is found. And you guys did a little more research. According to the FBI in 2020, there was 365,000 missing cases in the U.S. alone. So I want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about missing people? And do you find it weird that college student goes missing like that?
That is horrible. I mean, I think that is a parent's greatest fear is sending their kid off to college and just don't hear from them again. And they definitely mean well because they're in college. But I know it'd be parties and you meet people. But that is so sad. I think any college student, they should not be like interacting with people off campus unless you're at the grocery store. You should not be hooking up with no one off campus.
I agree with that. I think it needs to be just for freshmen and sophomores, stricter rules.
Yes, I think it's stricter rules and what they call it, curfews. Like they need to be in the dorm at a certain time.
I agree.
And sign in and out. And
see, when I was in college, I don't remember like my freshman and sophomore year going off campus that many times.
Everything was on campus.
Yeah, to be listen. I ate on campus. My mom was like, "You better eat that food because I paid for it." So I don't remember doing a lot of stuff off campus until later. So it's very hard for the family to. I mean, I'm pretty sure for this to happen to them. Yeah. I'm just praying for them. So
yeah, I mean,
I hope she pops back up.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody is missing, it is so tragic.
Yeah.
From a mental standpoint, it really is to lose somebody and not know where they are, what happened.
And do you ever pronounce them dead? Like after years of them going missing, like you just have
that's
that
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you just want that closure.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely praying for the family.
I guess for me, I feel like it need to be better stipulation when a person is missing. When you know someone who calls you every day and they don't call you like for a day, it's 48 hours you have to do.
I think that's too long.
I think it's too long.
Yeah.
I think after 24 hours, the person don't say nothing, like you check their home, they're not there. That's alarming. So I just hope that the U.S. Congress do better with our missing person case. But that's all I have for you guys on good old Google News. What's going on with you, Lakiba? What's on your side of the street, sis?
What's up, fam? Y'all already know conversation does what?
Rule the nation.
Guess what's ruling the nation today?
What's going on, sis?
Finally, justice has been served for Ahmaud Arbery.
Thank God.
And for those of you who need a recap, Arbery was jogging on February 23rd, 2020 in Brunswick, Georgia, when Travis McMichael and his father, Gregory McMichael, I'll add a retired police officer, pursued and shot Arbery. Travis and Gregory were indicted, on April 28th by a federal grand jury and charged with a hate crime and attempting kidnapping.
Be honest, it should be charged with more.
Happy that we got some level of justice.
I agree.
I'm kind of mad with the charges.
Me too.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very uncomfortable. Like we say, we get one and miss others, but I'm glad they're indicted.
Right.
But for kidnapping, you shot him dead like he was hunting him. Like,
how long do these charges last? Like, how many years you get for a hate crime, and how many years do you get for attempted kidnapping? Is this 30 plus years, which they should have, or how long is that? You get what I'm saying?
It's crazy to me.
I definitely think it's a lighter sentence, but there's some level of justice.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Something's better than nothing. I hate the fact that we have to say.
Settling.
I hate the fact that we have to settle for that. That kind of made me mad after I said that, because I feel like we always settle for our culture. We always settle for something's better than nothing.
Yeah. That's a good point. That is definitely a good point.
Wow. Well, that's a good story. What else? Yeah. What else you got going on?
That's it, y'all. That's what's really the nation,
heavy,
guys.
though.
What you think about a conservative Nasha?
Oh, you guys really want to hear what I think?
Yes, I really do. I want to hear what the Republican guys say.
Really, I mean, I looked into the story like maybe once. I didn't follow the story, but when I looked into it, definitely, I looked on both sides. And from my understanding, I don't know if he was, because he had just broken someone's house jogging. Did he break in their house? Like, what actually happened? I really don't know the story, so I don't want to speak on it too much.
Okay, well, I can understand that, but for what I can remember, because I followed and stopped.
He was looking at a vacant house.
He was looking at a vacant house. Now,
he was
for me, I don't think you should be on anybody's property, period, while you're running. I don't care, vacant or not. But do I think that he should lost his life because of looking in a vacant house? No.
I have to be honest. I lived where my parents live. There's a lot of homes that are probably vacant, as far as like somebody haven't moved into them yet, or like, it's like a brand new property or something. Mm-hmm. And I remember going jogging and then stopping let me check this new house out. But I was never thinking in the back of my head that somebody's going to kill me. I just want to check out the new floor plan or something. So that's kind of heavy.
What did they have to do with it? Was it their house?
No. They were just the neighbors.
They were like, what are you doing in here?
And I will say this, as a African-American real estate agent, I'm always looking at houses that are vacant.
Exactly.
And I will say this, and I'll be done. I know we got to go. And I have attitude. If I go up in a certain neighborhood and you looking at me crazy, don't come over here talking about where your real estate card, because you might get something and it's probably not going to be in the Bible.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, you don't question why I'm looking. Stay where you pay mortgage at. Don't worry about what I'm doing over here.
Yeah, I agree. I've definitely done that before.
It was definitely an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm not going to lie.
That was very unfortunate. That's what I got, guys.
Thank you so much, Lakeith. You always bring the conversation.
Because I rule the nation. That's why.
It's the nation.
I'll be ruling the nation.
All right, Ernie, what's on your side of the street, bro, a.k.a. Messy Wendy?
Well, we talked about Homegirl last week, and we're going to talk about her again.
Who is Homegirl?
Lakiva talked about her last week. Now we're going to talk about Caitlyn Jenner. You're always staying on this show. But Caitlyn Jenner says, I just want to know what you guys think about this. Caitlyn Jenner says trans girls who were biologically born as boys should not compete in all female sports in school. What's your thoughts? Should trans boys or girls be allowed to play with their chosen sex teammates? That's a good question.
I agree with Caitlyn. It's definitely unfair because men are so much stronger than women.
That's my point.
It's so much stronger. And maybe they should just form their own league. I mean, once you decide to transform over, or is that the correct word? The transform? A trans over, there it goes. I was trying to get that out. I said transform. But once you decide to trans over, I mean, you kind of made the choice to not really be on both sides. I used to run track, and I don't want a stout male, ready. I don't want to be competing against anyone that I feel like God gave extra strength to. And men are very strong. I don't care. That's why I always tell my little brothers, they used to pick on gay people and stuff like that. I was like, that dude would knock you the fuck out. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he would knock you out. So you can't go around picking on folks. But I don't think they should be. No, not in Now, this may be going against any sons out there that want to be majorettes and stuff like that. It's a little different, but when you're actually performing a sport and you're going against, it's supposed to be competing,
The issue is there's a lot of people right now that are a lot. Well, what happened is TMZ walked up to Caitlyn Jenner because there's a lot of trans women or trans girls who are around 14 to 15 years old, and they want to compete with the other girls because they've been taking hormones.
This is how I feel, and me and my friends actually had a conversation at Taco Tuesday
about this.
Okay. for a high school level, unless your child was taking hormonal pills, since the age of 9 and now they're 15, 16, wanting to compete, I'm perfectly fine with that. But you're not going to tell me, now, look, I don't judge. You're not going to tell me you were this Joseph yesterday and today you're Brittany and you think you're going to be able to compete. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I believe in 10 plus years of hormonal therapy, because once you take the estrogen, it does break down the manly body. Yeah. Just like when you see men who are very overweight, sometimes they cause testosterone issues and they start to form boobs. Mm-hmm. And that's why when you see trans men who used to be women like men, because once you get enough testosterone shot, you start to form to a man. Yeah. So I'm not going to say they cannot not ever compete. I would say probably for like the collegiate level, professional level.
So college.
Yeah, I will be okay with that. But you're not going to be Joseph today and Brittany tomorrow and talking about, I want to play girls basketball now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I doubt these people have been doing 10 years. These kids have been doing 10 years because these are like 14, 15, 16-year-old kids.
I agree with Nosh. I mean, I think, there's a level of strength that a man bears that a woman will never bear. So you got to make sure that there's balance when you're competing, just like when you're boxing, Yeah.
Can you imagine, okay, I ain't gonna be funny. I want the people to cancel me. Let me stop.
No.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
No matter what changes you make to your sex, I mean, you just got to think what you're biologically born as.
I have to agree to disagree, but I understand what you're trying to say. But if I say, for me, I'm not saying, I agree with what you're saying. But if I say you need 10 plus years of that hormone therapy. I do feel
like the same way. If it should be an extended period of time before you're able to play that sport.
Yes. Yeah. You're not going to be Michael today. And
it has to be equal.
Because if I had a daughter and the boy came on the team, I wouldn't want my daughter to play anymore because they going to hurt her.
Absolutely. It has to be balanced.
Now I got a hospital bill. I mean, this is too much.
Fell on my child and broke them all up. What
exactly.
are we doing?
And no feelings shouldn't be hurt. So if they decide not to have them on the team, no feelings should be hurt. Because I think my son's school right now is starting to kind of understand that, they're trying to, in other words, they make people free to be themselves, but also give them, boundaries. Like, okay, you cannot do this. You cannot wear this.
I think you should be in a transgender sport. It's enough transgender sports.
Yes, exactly.
While you in high school, then when you go to college and then be well.
Well, apparently the trans ain't happy with
it's okay
with Caitlyn, and they're trying to cancel culture the trans for her.
Well, I stand with you, Caitlyn.
Well, Caitlin's a trans woman, and she has the right to feel how she feels.
Yeah,
just like I'm gay. If I said I'm not in favor of the majority of the gay people,
she just don't try to cancel
because I don't want to agree with you.
And wasn't he like a sports, like he was?
He did sports.
So he understands. He knows.
So he knows. Yeah, I mean,
that's the right person.
She knows. My bad. She knows.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Caitlyn. It's just
she already tweeted today she ain't changing her response, so
it's just not fair. That's right. Put your foot down.
All right, Ernest.
That's all I got, guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Brother Ernest. Let's go to Republican Nasha. What you got going on, sis?
Hey, now I'm back at it again. So with all these police brutality and everything, not trusting the police, and we're just feeling unsafe out here. Like, we don't even know when to call the police anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? If me and my man is battling, I'm starting to feel like I shouldn't even call the police because he may end up dead. So when should we call the police? And guess what, guys? With all these states, basically police alternatives are here. They're here. They made it. You know what I thought was cool? In December, Pure Need and I was invited to a Christmas event in Austell, Georgia.
Nice.
And what was interesting about this event, there was no law enforcement in sight, but they had citizen police. I know that's kind of weird.
Like in London, where they don't have like in other countries, they don't have like the actual police and stuff
like that. So it's like it gives that non-intimidating approach.
Okay.
Let's see here. So what they did, it was so cute, y'all. They walked around in these like neon bright color vests and clip void. So just imagine how that can definitely make you feel more comfortable in calling the citizen police. Like if you're having an issue, a dispute with brother and sister, or the Micaiah situation, if you would have been able to call a therapist over for people that got mental issues or just anything that's non-emergency, these people are able to come out to you, and more cities are catching on to this new police reform strategy.
I kind of like that.
Yes. And you can call every 911, just think about it. Every 911 call do not have to end in violence or arrest.
I agree.
And one of the examples, imagine if the citizen police had rescued Rashad Brooks, the young man who fell asleep in the Wendy's drive-thru.
Yeah.
I did not, don't get me wrong, I did not target the police. I did not, the police was just doing their job. But however, I was very mad at the people who called the police on him, because me personally, if I worked in that Wendy's, I would have tried to get him a burger, wake him up before I even called the police, because I would have thought there was like a medical
or something
issue.
wrong with him, right?
Yeah, something wrong. I wouldn't have thought like call the police. He's asleep. Because he wasn't doing anything wrong being asleep in the drive-thru. So just imagine if citizen police was like this thing was more out there prior to all of these situations. Just like really, if it's not nobody actually having a standoff with guns and stuff like that, like the police may not even need to come. You know, if I can go in there and mediate and talk to and de-escalate the problem, okay, it was a brother and sister problem. The thing is, I really believe that this action will definitely rebuild trust. This action would definitely take the load off on officers. I cannot imagine what they're going through, and especially in these times. Like even the good officers, you know, are good officers are suffering in this time because police are police, and they have to walk around alert all the time. They have to walk around in defense mode all the time, and they have plenty on their plate. So a lot of I don't bash the police. I was not defunding the police because we really need police, but we need to know that, and we need to feel comfortable and safe that they're here to serve and protect.
You know what, Nasha? I actually agree with you.
We agree with all that, to be honest.
Everything you say, I agree.
I agree with all of that. I was like,
everything is not a police officer with a gun situation.
I agree.
Absolutely. When you are dealing with mental health issues, like how that guy got shot, that was so sad. I can't remember his name. But they shot him dead in the street. He was schizophrenic and bipolar.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Sometimes you need, I do think they need therapists on the police force.
Yeah.
So like I say, is this a 911, gun call, or this is somebody like, going crazy call?
If it's a red, then we know we need the police. If it's white, it's soft. It's like family dispute. Yeah, because they're coming out and it's turning something that's small and can be de-escalated. It's turning into some madness because apparently these people don't know how to handle themselves. So there are alternatives, and and one of them, Atlanta and other places, is currently taking part of this a new police reform strategy, and PAD is one of the companies you can call just by dialing 311. PAD stands for Policing Alternatives and Division Initiative. PAD basically come and de-escalate like mental issues, family disputes, non-emergency situations.
Love it.
And this is what we need. We need this across the United States.
I love that, Nasha, because my brother actually, you went in the military, and we have mental illness, and that runs in my family that onset his mental illness, and when when my brother has his moments, he is punching holes in the wall and episodes, and acting crazy. Yeah. So that would hurt me if police was to come to see that, because we know how he is. Yeah. And just because he's doing all of this, he's not hitting nobody, but he's just like tearing up shit and y'all shoot him dead.
Right. And it's so important that we think about things like this. Working with kids with autism, and then they had mental issues on top of that from where I used to work, is definitely, a lot of people don't understand the things that they need and the things they need at the time. So definitely something like this will help them.
Yes, thank you so much, Nasha.
That was really good.
Thank you.
That was excellent.
I'm glad I was able to bring it this week.
Yeah, you brought it, girl.
Brought it, sis.
Now with this segment called Whack Ass of the Day. And Whack Ass of the Day goes to Tim Scott. He's a Republican from South Carolina for saying America isn't a racist country.
And I'm from South Carolina.
It was right.
It was definitely.
Like, where you live at? Like, where do you live at, Mr. Scott? Like, really?
And what's so funny, a few years back when he was just becoming a senator, he wrote in the Washington Post saying how he was treated differently in Liston when they didn't know who he was. Like, you could walk in and say, or do you work here? Let me see your badge. And other his white counterparts had to come and vouch for him. Wow. So for you to say that it wasn't Now let me say this, I kind of agree with what Kamala Harris said when she was asked the same question. Do I think everyone in America is racist? No, I'm not going to ever say that. But do we have some racism in America? Yes. But do I think America is, as a whole, in totality, is a racist country? No, because I mean, everywhere you go to, somebody's discriminating against you, being rude and nasty. That's not the case. Because some place you go feel very welcome. Some place you go feel very unwelcome. Mm-hmm. But I think America has a history of racism, but we are further along than what we were. Yeah. People might disagree with me, but we're not the same black folks from the 1800s until now. We're totally different. Do we have some situations like the what's the young man who just died? Like police situations that goes on. Yes, but that's not happening to every black person in America. So for me, I don't agree with what he said, but the context of he said it, like America's never been racist, like just a lie.
Right.
Like, and from living in South Carolina, which is one of the most racist places. One of those places, because I'm from there. He's definitely a coon and a fool. Mm-hmm. So for them to think that is not racism in the world, I think that's horrible.
Oh, wait. Our guest is calling. Yes. Antonio. Okay. AKA Hey Tony TV.
Yes.
How are you?
Hey Tony, how you doing?
I'm good. How about y'all?
We're great.
We're doing good.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Let us introduce you into our great people of conVo with Friendz. Antonio, aka Hey Tony TV. He is a comedian who acts as a principal from Quarterbrick High, a high school girl from Quarterbrick High named TT, a cashier from a store, and a high school coach who works for Quarterbrick High. Everyone, welcome Antonio, aka Hey Tony TV, the comedian.
Yes.
What's going on?
Thank you for tapping in, Tony.
So, Tony, this for the people who don't know you, because you are very famous on TikTok. I'm just like, this guy is funny. What inspired you to make these different characters and become a comedian? And did you see yourself ever becoming a comedian?
So I saw myself in entertainment. I wanted to be in entertainment. My grandfather was a radio personality, and my uncle was a DJ. So they were always got to be around them a lot and see how they were able to entertain people through just music and just my grandfather talking over a mic. And so I was like, I want to do that. And I had no idea that comedy was going to be the way for me to do that. But I'm excited that it is, because it brings so much joy to people. And sometimes I even laugh at myself while I'm filming. So I know that if I'm laughing at myself, somebody else is going to laugh at these videos as well.
Wow.
So who's your favorite person to portray?
Right now, it would have to be.
Okay.
It would have to be the prince, because there's so much that I have coming for that character, and so many people can relate to her. Just as a principal in general, even principals message me and tell me, "Yeah, this was me back in like '84." And I was like,
Wow.
You are definitely the old school principal. Like have a paddle, the paddle situation.
I was going to ask that. Are you the principal that paddle the children?
No. I think, don't you have to get permission for that?
Yeah, and you know what? Florida definitely gives permission. Florida is one of those states.
Oh, really?
They send a home a paper. If it's called, it starts with a C. It's called, basically, is it okay for me to whoop your child?
Oh,
letter.
Wow.
And it's like one sheet, and you sign it, and the principal paddles the kid.
I don't think the principal of Quarterbrick High is going to whoop these children.
Yeah.
So, Antonio, I have a question. So, as a comedian, is there any particular comedian that you would like to perform with?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like my all-time inspiration is, of course, the legendary Eddie Murphy. And I know he doesn't do stand-up anymore, but to even just sit beside, I can just have a conversation, and we don't even have to be in a movie or a television show. Just to be in his presence and understand, and I just want to let him know that he influenced so many of us, not just me, but if you look at Eddie Murphy's career, it's like he influenced the social media comedy.
Yes, he does.
characters that people play and bring joy to people. That's who I just generally, if I work with that man, let me tell you, that's going to be it for me. I'm done. I'm sitting down in my Malibu mansion and I'm going to be content with life. That is all-time goal right there, is to have Eddie Murphy in something or work with Eddie Murphy.
Wow.
So I have a question for you. How is it being TikTok viral famous and getting a check from TikTok? I know you're getting a good old check from TikTok.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't receiving no pays from TikTok, but
what? Are you sure?
Somebody got your money, honey.
It sounds good, but the money was not as great as it should have been, especially considering that at the time they opened up and introduced their creator fund, I was having numbers. I was having millions of views on my TikTok videos just to get paid maybe like 10, 15 cents per view. So it's enough money for me. So I was like, I'll figure it out anyway. But I love the success. I'm more of a people's person, and I'm more of I'd rather have the fans and the views than the money. Now, if we can, get together and make that all correlate into one, that's perfect. But if I have to get paid chump change, I don't want it. Because I bring too much to the table, I know what I'm worth. TikTok was paying me. I just didn't feel like I was worth it.
Okay, I have another question for you. So is Quarter Brick High a real high school? You just made it so.
The Quarter Brick High is based off of my high school, Mount High School, and the colors are blue and gold. Our mascot was the Griffon, but the mascot at Quarter Brick High is the Pit Bulls. Honestly, I can't even think about how I even came up to that name. I'm such a witty person and crazy as hell that I always try to look outside of the box. So I'm like, what can I name this school? And Quarter Brick High was just the staple for it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a scenario. So I'm a student that actually came to your office, right? Mm-hmm. And I just fought Rodney. And basically, I feel like it's his fault. So we still in there in your office arguing and having a whole thing. We about to fight. What would you do?
What would I do? Yeah. Okay. First and foremost, let me go ahead and call Cheryl and let Cheryl know.
Who's Cheryl?
Cheryl is the assistant in the front office.
Okay.
So I would call Cheryl and let her know to get the resource officer in here right now, because these two kids is about to tear up my office.
Yeah, because we about to tear it up, and we probably going to take your wig off too.
See? And that's why I need my resource officer.
Can you get us like a little snippet of the principal, just like in whatever situation you want to have?
Like, do you want me to, how do you want me to demonstrate that?
Demonstrate a student having a phone. I love the one when they have the phone walking to class.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my principal voice on.
Yes.
Excuse me, young lady. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Bring me that phone. You know you're not supposed to have the phone out in the halls during class time. Yes, ma'am. You can get that phone in my office at the end of the day, but you can't have it right now. No, ma'am.
That's a laugh for me.
Because all principals are kind of like that. Yeah, which is true.
So what's with the keys, though? My principal had these many keys.
Right.
But see, my principal had so many keys. They had like a row of like 25 keys.
Really?
Yeah.
I never seen that before.
They had a key for every single door.
And no one knows what those keys really go to.
Exactly. It was always keys every single where. Like all the principals, the assistant principals, everybody had like keys attached to their hips.
And you could just hear them. You didn't even have to. It was
walking down the hallway.
Or the janitor. Somebody had some keys.
Exactly.
So going to the coach, because the coach is funny too. So what inspired you to do the coach as the coach? It put the coach into Quarter Brick High.
So the coach, I just wanted to expand the quarter. I like to call it the Quarter Brick High universe. And the coach was just somebody I thought that would be really funny, because if you think about it, a lot of these coaches are the same, man. I had no idea, especially when I did like how coaches take their pictures, that was literally every single coach. And
yes.
I was so shocked. I was like, it amazes me that all of these people, like, is this something in their training that they just go through where they all come out the same, or is it just like a natural thing?
I think it's a natural thing because coaches still like that are today.
And that's funny. And they do be teaching like 3 subjects. I'm the history teacher,
yes.
math teacher.
Exactly.
They be the PE teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Popping up.
Yeah. So I have another question. So what is the relationship with TT and the principal? Why is that relationship so important for you?
So TT, going back to like how the Girls in High School series, she's the problematic. She's the friend that if you know, she gonna buck. And so, you know, principals tend to have relationships with those type of students a lot more genuine and close than other students. And so that is why her and TT have such a genuine relationship, because it's like, I know you're a problematic kid, but I want to see you get out of this school. I don't want to see you in the senior yearbook 2 times. Maybe 3, maybe 4. You know, some people like being in high school for that long. But that is where that relationship came from. Because I'm not even going to lie to you. I had that relationship with one of my principals. I was like, I wasn't bad, but I wasn't great either. So I stayed getting sent out of class, or the principal escorted me to their office and like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm just bad, I guess.
Now,
relationship.
Now, Antonio, I don't know if you remember this show. It used to come on HBO. It was like a white school, and it was a white man portraying as a white girl going to the school. Yeah, I don't know the name. I can't remember, but I can see that same sitcom for Quarterbrick High. So, would you like to see Quarterbrick High as a sitcom on HBO or something like that?
I would love to, man. That is like that is one of my goals. I would turn this into a series, like have the girl in high school, the principal, the coach. Everyone keeps asking for the lunch lady and the guidance counselor.
So which character is next?
I don't want to say. I want to keep it a secret.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I have ordered their stuff, and they should be for the Brick High universe. But I would love to see it become a series, and I want to be able to, of course, like Eddie Murphy, play these characters and also have other actors and actresses involved as well. So
that's pretty awesome. This is Nasha speaking. I want to give you a scenario because this happened to a friend of mine. Okay, the friend is me. So 3 days before graduation, the day I was supposed to actually practice my walk, I decided to go out the back door and smoke a joint. So my dean and my principal, basically my dean ran up on me when I walked back in and I was smelling like marijuana, of course. My eyes was bloodshot red. And she took me, my dean, Miss McFarland, took me to the principal at the time, which was Principal Mary. Why did this lady look at me and say, oh, yeah, they talking to me like I'm not in the room. So they're talking to each other, but they're trying to see what I'm going to do. Why that lady, I love her to the day. I love her to the day. I was that TT, the person. Because why she looked at me and looked back at Miss McFarland, my dean, and said, yeah, she's blowed, but this is still not a reason why she can't graduate. Go home and get some rest. Basically, you're not even going to get your gown. And when I got my gown, y'all, my gown was so wrinkled. I was so mad that I smoked that joint that day because everybody else's gown at graduation was all pressed out, and I got my gown the day of graduation. Everybody else took their gown. So I did miss out on a really great part of my life. I still got to walk, but I love how she said that. She was like, this is still not a reason why she can't graduate. She just smoked the joint. She looked at the dean like...
So you TT.
I was TT.
So what would you have done as a principal?
That's what I wanted to know.
What I have done, I probably would have done the same thing. As long as you worked hard to get to where you know where you're going, I ain't gonna worry about that joint. At least that happened. Something terrible happened to me my graduation day. Well, day before graduation too. So, and it's one that I always remember, and all of my classmates will remember. But it makes sense because I'm a goofy person. But we were walking in, and you know you have to walk in and be all cordial. while you're rehearsing. So someone that was behind me thought it would be a funny idea to pull my chair back. So we're standing. I don't know that this is happening. I just hear people laughing behind me, thinking they having a conversation. And then of course, you have the principal waves his hands to tell y'all to sit, and you sit. So I'm gearing to sit down, and I missed the chair, and everyone laughs at me.
I would have been fighting.
Oh my god!
I had to stand
humiliating.
Up, smile at everybody and wave, and just brush it off. And I was like, I'm going to kill this kid behind me.
It would have been some furniture moving for you.
It sure would have.
Wow.
And Tony, you also played a cashier. Now the cashier is another funny one.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it so important you play this cashier on TikTok?
Well, so I've always worked in the service industry, and my very first job was at Macy's. And well, when I moved to Raleigh, my very first job was at Macy's, and they had regulars. Of course, people come in and they shop regularly. They're like regular customers, but there are this, and she's inspired by this lady, and I know she is watching TikTok and watching this character. There was this one lady that would just come in, and everybody hated taking her. And so me being a new guy, they would just brush her off on me because I'm nice and I'm new. And I would have to sit there and listen to this lady tell me her corny jokes. And she had the ugliest laugh. Point where I was like, okay, now I understand why y'all don't want her. But again, every time she came in, everyone would just vanish. And I'd be the only one she see. And she'd be like, there's my favorite cashier.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it seems like everybody just poof disappeared. But yeah, come on over here. I'll take you.
So I hate that. I'm sorry. What were you about to say?
I was going to say, and I'm trying to incorporate her into like just the real world life problems. I was the server, and she, in the video today, she was like the customer that came to my job, and I was like, oh, hell, like, why is she?
She'd be so funny. She'd be like, hi. And one of you, she was like, if I would have waited longer, it would have been free $99.
Oh, God.
Like, please just stop. Let me ring you up and you go.
Out my line.
But I do have a question for you. For people who are aspiring to be a comedian, because you are a well-known comedian, whether you want to consider yourself as not, what are some advice that you will give them, Antonio?
Definitely stay true to your art. Find a lane for yourself. I found a lane for myself, and I'm sticking to it, and I love it. And also have a backbone. That is like, coming into comedy, you cannot come into comedy soft. There is no way you're going to survive in this industry soft. You have to have a backbone. You have to be able to take criticism. Everybody's not going to like what you put out. And it's just life, People think Beyonce can't sing, but look at Beyonce. She's the greatest entertainer of all time to me, in my opinion. So it's just, you have to have a backbone, brush that stuff off, find your lane, and just be genuine. Don't come in being cocky thinking you're the funniest person in the world, because you'll get shut down real quick.
Because those comments are brutal.
Yeah, so how do you handle the rude comments? How would you tell people to handle the rude comments that are not in favor of you doing this?
I don't ever pay attention to the rude comments. Like I said, people
That's a good thing.
Hate you. There is no in between. And it is what it is. I know that at the end of the day, whether you like my content or not, there are thousands of others who love it, and
I love it.
In their days a lot better. So I don't ever pay attention to the negativity. It's really, how is it? How does the guy say? It's above me.
It's above me, yeah.
So I'm sorry, what you about to say, Lakeitha?
Antonio, will you do events? Have you started doing any events and birthday parties and been invited out to host?
I want to start. I of course, with everything going on and COVID, it's like really hard to try to get things situated. But I do want to start doing events and maybe doing like a school tour or
that would be nice.
But of course, my main thing is COVID. I just want everybody to be safe. I don't want to have some huge event and there's not any restrictions going on, because I don't want anybody taking that back to their families. And, that's
good.
Yeah, it's been a very heartbreaking year for a lot of people, and I don't want to be the cause of that,
So, Antonio, this is Lakiba. So you play so many different characters. Do you see yourself being on a film set?
Yes, that is my goal. My all-time I don't know if that's a question. I should wait just in case. I don't know if y'all got that question, but I will. I do. Sometimes I get so excited with questions. I jump the broom all the time. But I do want to do film. I would love to do film, and I would love to be able to play characters in film, not just one person, not just two or three. If I could do a movie like Nutty Professor.
Ooh, and a modern day Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And it comes out great, then that is fine. But definitely film is it's hard to get into, especially when people are COVID. And I look at these TikToks as audition tapes, but some people will probably just bypass them as just TikTok. So it's hard for people like me to try to get into the film industry. But I definitely want to break into it and play a lot of characters.
Well, one thing I can say, you have the popularity and you have the followers and the following, actually.
Yeah.
But we do have to close this segment out, but we do want you to stick around for our good old letter to help our good old friends on the podcast for this good old advice that you have as whoever you want to be. Before you go, can you tell us what can we expect for Antonio coming up? Can you give us a little snippet or a little secret of what's going on?
Okay, so there's a potential that Apple Music podcast might be in play. I know I lended my voice to an animated feature film that should be coming out later this year.
Oh, wow.
On Facebook, watching YouTube, and just a whole bunch of different things that I wish I could say. But when you sign them contracts, they always
I understand. Send some of my way.
I hear that.
Yeah, send all of our way. Yeah, exactly.
But Antonio, thank you so much. Please stick around. We do have our last segment called The Letter. So we're going to get into that right now. We are now coming to the segment called The Letter, read by Nasha.
The letter. Hey, friends. I need some advice. For the past 38 years, I was supposed to be the only child. I just recently buried my dad a little over a week ago. At the funeral, I discovered I have a brother that is a month older than me. My mom is devastated. My father had to know about my other sibling because he has pictures and he is included in my father's will. My brother wants to build a relationship with me, but I don't think I care to have one. What should I do?
Antonio, we're going to let you go first. What if this was your situation, you was the principal, what advice would you give to your friend?
Ooh, that was deep. Deep. Okay. I say that you need to really just open your heart. I know that it's hard. I wish I had my keys in my hand. It'll be more believable. I know it hurts, and I know surprises after a funeral just aren't the best surprises sometimes, depending on. And that is one that I don't know if I would ever be able to tolerate. But this is your father's child. You are your father's child. So I say y'all at least have a sit down, have some discussions, see what y'all, come from, your backgrounds, and see if y'all can form a relationship or a bond. Life is too short to be angry at someone you've never met before.
Absolutely. Good answer. And my response to this letter is, you already lost your dad. Don't lose your brother. Okay. And it's unfortunate that he didn't tell you all about each other, but now that's your brother. That's you your daddy's son and that's your daddy's son. So, you know, your father's not here. So that's the way that you guys can definitely share those moments and of missing your father with each other.
I agree with that. I think it's an opportunity to just embrace another sibling, embrace love. I mean, I know at a funeral, emotions are high. You're probably speaking from your emotions and not from your heart. Take some time, think about it, and then reach out to your brother so you can form a solid, healthy relationship.
All I heard was Will. I got to share the Will. Daddy was Papa was a Rolling Stone.
It's enough for everybody.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. What if he ain't had that much? I got to share my cut with him.
If Papa got a wheel, he got something.
Well, that ain't my issue. I mean, I'm sorry. Nobody knew. Nobody knew about you. Hope your mama can take care of you because.
Oh my God.
It's a no for me. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm gonna say
Ernest. Ernest.
I'm gonna say this.
Leave Ernest alone.
I'm gonna say this. I wholeheartedly agree with Ernest. You cannot miss what you never knew.
Exactly.
And would I be mean to my newfound brother? No, because I'm not a mean individual. But it will take time for me to form a relationship with you because I'll be more questions from my dad. Like, why would you keep this a secret? Why? Like, mom is devastated, crying. Then about to die too. You know what I'm saying? You're 38, so your parents are older. You know, and all this unnecessary stress you put on the family. It's finding this out at the funeral. And I got to share fucking with this bitch that I never even knew.
He got a whole family.
Like, a whole family. Like, that's a lot to deal with.
Taking pictures?
But no, I wouldn't be mad at him. I would never be mad at the child. For when a child is innocent, that's an innocent bystander child.
I agree
but
with
you
that.
cannot force me to have a relationship with you. So that's all I have for you.
It's a hard no for me.
Help us, God.
What you say, Antonio?
I said sometimes Papa is a Rolling Stone, and where he lays his hat, that's his home.
Well, he shouldn't have laid his pen to sign that will. That's what he shouldn't have did.
Well, he said put the pen to paper.
Put the pen to paper. I'm even more mad about the pen.
Oh my God!
He had to sign off. Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Well, I have a similar situation. I know. I got a whole life full of stories. I have a sister that was born in March of '83, and I was born in June of '83. He decided to marry my mom and move her to Louisville, Kentucky when I was 2 years old. But my mom didn't know that I had a sibling that was born a few months. So he had two women pregnant at the time. He decided to marry this woman, which was my mom.
Yeah.
And they moved away from Tennessee. But I was wondering, like, why you get my mom moved away from Tennessee? So that's why, because we had a whole... But when I see my sister, we look exactly alike. She's on the heavier side. We not as close as we should be. Mm-hmm. So this letter is really touching me because like I want to reach out to my sisters and my nieces and nephews because we do share the same dad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all have to share a will?
He ain't gone yet.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be
Ask daddy tonight. It's sister in the will. Okay.
I wouldn't be mad if she would, because that's her dad as well.
I'm in the same boat. I just last year found out that I have a little brother and a little sister, and it's like, whoa, come on now, Papa. I knew you was a Rolling Stone, but you could have told me this a couple months. Mm-hmm.
I'm calling my daddy tonight.
Look, Dad, don't have no goddamn surprise. I'm gonna slap his ass as a casket, bitch. That was my Chevrolet, bitch. That was my land, homie.
We had to put up with your drunk ass. They was scot-free.
All these goddamn beats I got for being gay, you gonna
and you out here living like this.
Wow. Kimiko, what would you say from a Christian standpoint?
I already said you have to love all people, and especially, I mean, this is your flesh and blood. You have to let things go because he's not responsible for the actions of your father.
I agree.
You will never have the opportunity to ask your father why.
See, Lakeba got me right, y'all.
You do have the opportunity to show some love. You do have the opportunity to communicate. You do have the opportunity to embrace and be thankful that you have a brother. Because there are some people who wish they had a brother. Their brother could have died. They just maybe never had a brother. Embrace it, move on, and show some love.
And she don't got me right, y'all.
Yes, find your father in him, and he find y'all's father in you.
Without Lakeba, I was going all the way left.
You just won't get no will.
I can't let y'all go left. I can't.
So he would get half the will with you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because a child is entitled to the assets of his or her parents. And the siblings, you don't dictate what I get. The will does. Point blank, period. That's why there's a will. And you know what? I'm going to say this and going to be done. That's probably why the dad did a will, because he knew y'all was going to be clowning.
Let me get this straight.
Let me go ahead and get this straight now, because I ain't got time to be rolling over in my grave about these few coins I'm leaving y'all.
That's true. That's true.
Serious.
That's true.
Embrace it, friend. So, friend, I hope we was able to assist you with your life-changing situation. Hey, friends, if you have any issues you're facing, any problems, or you need advice, or you want to congratulate someone and send out some kudos, reach out to us. We got you, friends. We definitely got you. I want you to reach out to us at conVo with Friendz with a Z podcast.
Yes.
conVo with Friendz. Please reach out to us at conVo with Friendz with an S podcast at gmail.com. That's conVo with Friendz with an S podcast at gmail.com.
Well, thank you so much for letting Antonio. We want to say thank you from the
so
bottom
much.
of our hearts for coming on the podcast. This is one for the books. I'm not gonna lie, for me, because you are doing it, and I can only see you going up and up and up. And congratulations, Black man.
Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you for tapping in.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure.
Y'all have a great evening.
You too.
You too. Peace out. Amazing.
That was such a great
that was a great interview.
Yeah, the same scenario. So that's really
you always got these scenarios. I love it. No, I'm not sure.
I feel like you write neat letters.
I need to write some. I got bored.
Well, friends, we are coming to the end of the show. I know y'all are sad. I know. But in order to make us happy, and we might want to stay longer if you guys buy our merchandise.
Absolutely.
We have merchandise, and you can also give, friends. You can give to the podcast. Giving you guys is a song in the Bible saying, you
Hear his singing. Here's the singing, y'all.
What's with the singing, guys?
Are giving. So yes, friends, you can actually give to help us be better and grow and be more. Give you better content, you guys. You can give $5, whatever. Damn it, just give. We give you good content. We give you good guests. As you can see, we had Tony on here. Give some damn money. And also subscribe to us on YouTube,
iHeartRadio,
Spotify, and TikTok,
Pandora, and Instagram.
Yes.
and wherever else platform you listen to us on. You can either follow us or give us 5 stars, okay? All right, guys, this is Rodney.
This is Lakiba.
Hey, guys, this is Ernest.
Bye for now. It's Nasha.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Peace out, guys.
We love y'all.
Hi guys, this is your boy Yet checking in. If you are enjoying our content, can you please follow us on IG and Facebook at conVo with Friendz, and it's FRIENDZ.